Welcome to Black History Matters 2024. This is the fourth installment of an educational series produced by the National Abolition Hall of Fame and Museum. These short educational videos are meant to provide an introduction to topics important to our understanding of Black American history, but also the larger history of the African diaspora across the Americas and the world. I'm pleased to welcome you to today's episode, Votes for Women, Black Women in the American Suffrage Movement. The U.S. suffrage movement was a transformative period in history that marked the struggle for women's right to vote. Beginning in the mid-19th century and culminating with the passage of the 19th Amendment in 1920, the suffrage movement was a complex campaign characterized by grassroots activists, political organizing, and civil disobedience. Suffragists, or women who were campaigning for the right to vote, included Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Lucretia Mott. They challenged societal norms and gender inequalities, demanding equal rights and representation for women in the political sphere. Their tireless efforts encompassed a range of strategies from organizing suffrage conventions and petition drives to engaging in hunger strikes and picketing the White House. The suffrage movement mobilized women from diverse backgrounds and regions, uniting them in a common cause and igniting a national dialogue about the meaning of citizenship and democracy. While the contributions of many women have been celebrated, such as the names of those that we just mentioned, the role of Black women in this movement often remains overlooked. Yet, their unwavering dedication were instrumental in advancing the cause of suffrage for all women. One of the most prominent figures in the suffrage movement was Sojourner Truth. Born into slavery, Truth emerged as a fierce advocate for women's rights and abolition. Her powerful speeches, including the iconic Ain't I a Woman address, delivered at the 1851 Women's Rights Convention in Ohio, challenged prevailing notions of race and gender inequality. Truth's intersectional perspective underscored the importance of addressing the rights of both Black and white women in the fight for suffrage. Another influential figure in the suffrage movement was Ida B. Wells. Wells was a pioneering journalist and anti-lynching crusader who recognized the interconnectedness of race and gender in systems of oppression. She fearlessly exposed the horrors of lynching in the South and tirelessly advocated for the rights of Black women to participate fully in the suffrage movement. Wells' activism paved the way for greater inclusivity within the suffrage movement and highlighted the urgency of addressing racial violence and discrimination as the essential components of the fight for women's rights. Mary Church Terell was yet another trailblazing Black woman who played a crucial role in the movement. As a founding member of the National Association of Colored Women, which goes by the acronym NACW, and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, Terell advocated for both racial and gender equality. Her advocacy efforts focused on challenging discriminatory practices and promoting education and economic opportunities for Black women. Terell's intersectional approach to activism emphasized the importance of coalition building and solidarity across racial and gender lines, forging alliances that would shape the future of the movement. The last person we'll talk about is Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, who was a renowned abolitionist, poet, and lecturer. Born free in Baltimore in 1825, Harper became a prominent figure in the fight against slavery and later in the struggle for women's suffrage. She used her powerful poetry and speeches to advocate for the rights of African Americans and women, addressing issues of race, gender, and social justice. Harper was a key figure in the American Equal Rights Association and the National Women's Suffrage Association, where she worked alongside prominent suffragists like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Harper's tireless efforts to secure voting rights for women, particularly Black women, helped pave the way for the passage of the 19th Amendment. Her legacy, alongside that of the women we just spoke about, continues to inspire generations of individuals who advocate for the rights of marginalized communities. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation on Votes for Women, Black Women in the American Suffrage Movement. On your screen, you will see a link to a Google form. The link is also available in the video description, And this form will take you to a survey where you can leave feedback about your experience with this video. Your feedback helps us secure future funding and to plan events, so we really appreciate if you could take a few minutes to fill it out. Once again, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at our next presentation.